Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone. Lynyrd Skynyrd with Freebird, a song I know. I think if you've listened to rock music, country rock, southern rock, bluegrass rock, just if you're as old as me, which isn't old, but it's older than some of you, how does that make sense? Then you've heard this song. But have I ever revisited it and talked about what I think of it? No. Did I deeply think on it? God knows, way too young. Yeah, by the time I was listening to it, I was like 14. It had been out since 73, so I was like, what? This was 79 I first heard it consciously. But yeah, this is Lynyrd Skynyrd with Freebird. I've done some legwork to this because to listen to it and react to it would be unfair. But to listen to it and find out what I found out about it, what my thoughts are, I think that's a better way. So, yeah, let's see what we all think and what we think of me. Not all at once, everybody.
Tomorrow, would you still remember me?
Beautiful opening, but if you don't know the story, and I'm sure most of you do, and those of you who know, please comment, guys. If I leave here tomorrow, would you still remember me? Now, Alan Collins, who is along with John Van Zandt, wrote this. He'd actually said that to his girlfriend. And he'd used that line because he was thinking, am I committed? Am I staying around? I suspect, paraphrasing his thoughts. And that's how he actually opens the song. He actually said that. If I leave tomorrow, would you still remember me? Yeah. Thankfully, he did marry her in 1970, so I don't know where they were, how that ended up, and if there's any sadness, I don't mean anything by it. But it just goes to show you that just everyday life became a song that's just a cultural classic. But let's hear that beginning again, and I'll just let it go for much longer. Yeah, because that beautiful beginning is like opus. You know, it's really beautiful. It's introducing you something. You're kind of meandering along that sorrow with the expectation of a story beginning. Yeah, oh, it's so cool. just something I want to quickly interject with. When you're looking at that first verse, if I leave you tomorrow, would you still remember me? He's using that very current vernacular of that era. Then the songwriting skills and getting things to work, they switch. They almost implement Old English in one line. For I must be travelling on now. You just wouldn't say that, right? But they've used, I don't suspect, unless of that generation I'm from that area, but you just wouldn't do that. And nowhere else do I think I've heard somebody do that in one line. For I must be travelling on now. It doesn't fit. It makes sense, but it's almost Shakespearean, which gives you that grand scale of this. Yeah, for I must be travelling on now. Guys, Leonard Skinner fans, let me know what you think about my observation of that, or if I'm just making it up. I don't know. Anyway, let's go. us a lot because I've done a little bit of work on the song, and I think there's some things to bring out. When a lot of sort of press and fans have said over the years, and this is directly coming from Lynyrd Skynyrd themselves and others, that this is quite often seen as a dedication to the passing of Duane Allman. Now, this song was written before Duane Allman had passed, although Lynyrd Skynyrd did in fact dedicate the song at times to the Allman Brothers on certain sets. This was always the last song of a set, mostly, and they'd quite often just do it lyrically, let the fans fill in the lyrics. So that gives you the iconic status of this song. When I hear it now, I just hear the words, because they did two separate pieces. Lyrics, words. Feels almost like it's prayer-like, you know? And the bird you cannot change, and this bird you cannot change. It's like a conversation with himself. And if he is in fact praying, he's sort of saying to them, I can't change. Lord knows I can't change. Yeah. Please help me change if I leave tomorrow. It's like a prayer of looking for an affirmation that the decision's right. Then the decision is kind of made in the song, or is it? Then you get that whole opus, that beautiful sort of musical ending to this song, which to me felt like, okay, it's filled with that, at times, the soaring of the bird, then the anxiety of having made that decision, then the anxiety. Imagine if you're on a train and you're leaving home and you're never going back. You know, if you think about so the songs that have done this, they don't come to mind because I'm focused on this one. It's really, if the train's taking off and you've got the anxiety of leaving, of where you're leaving, what you've left behind and where you're going to, the unknown, as the train picks up, you'll settle, but the anxiety will kick in again. And you'll hear that rattling on the tracks. That could symbolise that. I don't know how they do this with guitar. It's next level genius. But to me, that's what it felt like. Now, I'm going to post something here. Look at it. Yeah, and this is from John Van Zandt, who co-wrote this song. Initially, it took them 2 years to write it after Alan Collins had presented them. Partly they finished it off over 2 years. So this didn't happen in a session like what the Beatles would do. And it's one of the, I think this is one of the only ballads, love songs they've ever done as a band. Yeah. And they talk about how people have dedicated to the loss at funerals. But if you look at the quote I put up by John Van Zandt, that's essentially what I say always with every song. Every songwriter who's worth his weight in gold will tell you that. Yeah. That the song belongs to you once they've written it and released it. What a song, to think about it. What an absolute song. That was Lynyrd Skynyrd with Freebird. I've not looked at any of the reactions on this. I've not listened to the song. Not listened to the song for such a long time. As many years as I can remember. I might have heard it on the radio, rock station, I don't know. But that was it. That was so cool. If you liked it, join in, click, guys, share with your friends, all those things. Till next time.